This is Irontrader. This is the last call of the day and of the week here. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. And we'll take a look at the indexes. Now the Dow's ripping up about 250. NASDAQ and S&P are pretty much flat. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, first on the docket here we have old Bitcoin. Now you can see here we're still in a downtrend situation. We have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high situation and a series of lower lows, okay? Now we have this sideways consolidation. The key is here is holding this 21-day here before the end of the day. That's going to be very, very key. Now you can see here in the past we popped up, but we just couldn't get through it. Now if we can, then we got a good shot at retesting that 94.950 level and maybe even at 50-day at 95.352. Okay, on the downside, this is what you're watching. It's very critical. Is 89.352, and then we're watching that 8-day right below it at 88.251. Now we'd like to have that 8-day curl up and cross over that. That would be a bullish cross, and it would send that price up higher. Now, if we lose that 21-day, okay, and we lose that key 8 SMA, then we'll be looking for the bottom of this candle right here to be 87.470 level. Then we'll come down here. We're looking at 87.75. We'll come down here, 86.380 level. We'll come to the bottom of that candle, 85.135. That's your next support. Then we come down here to 84.505. Then we always want to watch this candle here. That's at 84.120. And then here's the big retest down here at 87.50 level. Now, again, if we lose that, all we have to do is just look right to the left of the chart here. Very, very easy. Okay, just look right there. That's your next target is 79.055. We come down there, 78.495. We come down to the bottom, 76.390. And then there's your big retest down there at 74.635. But that's only if we lose this candle here. But I like to show you where it could possibly go. Just look to the left of the chart. Everything you need to know for your support levels are sitting right there. Now, on the upside, we hit this high. We have a nice high here today at 91.555 level, okay? So your next really resistance level is going to be right up here, 91.660 level, and we'll come right up top of there. You're looking at 92.705, and we venture up here at 93.70. We have 93.850, then we'll look for that price channel, which is right there at 94.950, which is all just basically just the top of that candle. Okay, now these blue lines here, all these are just price channels, and all they are is tops and bottoms of candles, make life a lot easier. Now you can use clouds and you can use Bollinger Bands, but these here are just so accurate because that's all they are, and tops and bottoms of candles make life a lot easier. Okay, so this is what you're looking for, the big target, 94.950 level, and then right above it is 95.355. Now, this is going to be very, very strong resistance. However, if we can get through it somehow, then we're going to be looking right to the bottom of that candle, 97.905. We'll go to the bottom of that candle, 99.250, and then we venture up to the top there, 94.230. We'll come down to the bottom of this candle at 101.20. We'll come down to the bottom there at 102.610, and then we'll be looking here for that 200-day at 103.924. That's your big target, and right above it is 105.166. But again, you got to get above that price channel, and that 50-day it's going to be very, very strong resistance. Okay, so again, that's what we're watching there on the upside, and we're watching this key 21-day and that 8-day on the downside. We lose it, we could do the retest down here, and we could even do a retest all the way down here at that 87.50 level. Now, we got only sitting here on your RSI here, only sitting at 49. That's not overbought or oversold. The green is over your red, which shows basically momentum to the upside. And that's what we have. We have a good trending situation. Okay, so I say just be very, very, patient, I should say, with this. And we're actually looking here very, very good. So as long as we can hold that 21-day, maybe next week here we can head right for that 94.950 level. We need a little bit of relief rally here because this has had nothing here since that whole end of the 25 season. We've had nothing, just sideways consolidation. However, very, very good trading in this. Okay, I do the BITX for long, BITI for the short, and the trading in this is very, very, very good. So if you're a trader, you're just loving this. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold, here we have silver. Now you can see here this big red candle. So you always want to look to the past and see what happened off of that red candle. We had like a bear flag situation, and then she came right on down. Now, are we developing the same thing? You notice that today we got above the 21-day and we headed right for that 8-day, but we couldn't do it. Okay, 44.28 is that 8-day. We made up to 44.14. Okay, so again, this is why you want to trade the charts. So what we're looking here for on the upside is, first of all, that 21-day, 43.45. We'll look to Wednesday's high, 43.84, and then we'll be looking for that 8-day at 44.28. Now, I only trade gold there on the long side. I don't trade it on the short side. So for me, I got to get it back above that 8-day and before it for me to take a trade. Now, if you get above that 8-day, then we look right here. This is your next resistance level, 44.84, 45.30. We come in here at 44, 45.55, and then your big retest up there at 45.84. We'll crack that. Then we're going to go to that 46 and work your way up to that 5,000 mark. But right now, let's just see how this all shakes out here. Now, on the downside, what we're watching is Wednesday's low. That's at 42.84. And then we're going to come right to this 41.96 level. That is your 50-day, and you have to respect it because it held it in the past. Okay, so that's what you want to look at. Now, we lose that. We come down to the bottom here at 40.36 level. We come down here. Your next support, 39.97. And then we have 39.35, and then here's a big retest down here, all the way to 39.01 here, but we have that nice 100-day sitting at 39.70 level. So again, all these, this is 8-day, 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day. These are all your key levels, and then we look at the candlesticks there for your minor support levels, okay? But again, we are got to get above that 21-day and that 8-day. That's very, very crucial. Now you can see here, we got to a way, way overbought situation, and now we're sitting here at 51, which isn't too bad, which isn't overbought or oversold, but it looks like we don't have really a whole lot again. See how that green crossed over your red? That shows momentum to the downside. Just look to the past, what happens when you get momentum to the downside. There's your reaction to it, okay? So we could come down to this 50-day, and then we could take a nice trade back up again, but let's just see, be very, very patient with the old gold ski. Okay, silver. Well, it tried to work itself up. It was working it like a circus monkey, but it just could not do it. Okay, look at that. See, 72.82. You can't just pop and drop. You got to get above that. Now we have ourselves the one to call a topping tail, but we also have an inside day. So upside, watch that 72.83. That's going to be very key. Next level upside is 74.21, and we'll come to the top there, 76.27 level, and we'll venture up here, 78.06, and then we have 79.70, and then your big resistance, and your breakout is 82.67. And we crack above that, you're going to go to that 8,500 mark, okay? Now, on the downside, what we're really watching is the bottom of Wednesday's candle, 69.25. We lose that, you're going to come right here, 21 days, 66.33. That's your next big target. Okay, now we lose that. Here's your next big target, 57.11. We're at 42, and you can come all the way down to that 42.79. Now, I just think this is just way. There's really no need for this to have the nosebleed section here in silver. Yeah, I know a lot of things use the silver, okay? Yeah, it is a great conductor. I get all that. I'm down with the sickness. But again, when you look at these charts here and you see here when you push it up over 90, that's not going to work, okay? That's not going to work no matter what anybody's trying to tell you. This needs a nice good pullback here before I have a good buying opportunity. Now, just remember here, when you get these nosebleed charts like this, okay, I just crank that down a little bit so you can see it. See, when you get that nosebleed chart, when this comes off hard. All I got to do is go back in the day of where crude oil was. I think it was like 2008 or something, 11. It cranked all the way up to 149. And when it sold, the crude oil sold down. It came down, retested, went up to about 144. And then when that came off, it went to a negative 27. I remember shorting it all the way down to a negative 27 and to close out the day at like 650 or something on that order. So just remember that. I say when you get these parabolic moves like what you have here, these never last, okay? So always use stop losses. I only trade on the long side, and I only trade this here on a daily basis as long as it was holding that 8-day situation, okay? But once you lose it here, for me, I got to get back and close back above that 8-day. Then I could take a long, or if it could come down and hold that 21-day, maybe you could take a scalp long here or even the 50-day. But right now, I have no trade in silver and no trade in the old gold. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. All right, here we have crude oil. I can see how we're downtrending situation. Now, I tell you the same thing every day for how many weeks here now, okay? See this 50-day? Look how strong it is, okay? See this? You can't get through it. If you can't get through this, you're not going higher. It's just that simple, okay? So we had a nice, good relief rally going on here. But remember, this is a seasonality trade. You always buy crude, between the first and second week of December, and then you ride it up to the first week of January, and then it drops down, and then it goes sideways, and then it has a nice rally up here going into the summer driving. I've been doing this for over 2.5 decades. It's the same trade, same shit every year, same trade. Okay, so just look at a seasonality chart. You can go on my playlist, or you can go to equityclock.com. It's all right there. Just punch up anything that you want to see. Seasonality is over a 20-year period. It gives you a good idea what's going on. But we have a downtrending situation here. We have a high, lower high, lower high, and then right here, it's just downtrending. So you have to get back above all this, okay? So your key level to get back above here is we got to get back up that 57.78 and that 57.80. Your 8-day and your 21-day. Then we can attack that 50-day. Okay, but again, so far, we went right into it and you can't get above it. 58.94, that's going to be extremely, extremely difficult. If you can get above that, then we got a target here at that 60.50 level and 60.60 3 level, your 100-day. We get above that, then we can go to your 200-day, okay, at that 62 and 78 level. Then we can get above that. Then we can just start venturing right on up here where we have a 63.26. We march it right up there, 63.89. And then we come up there, 65. We come up there at 65.40. And then here's your big retest up here at 66.22, 42. But you got to get above that 50-day in order to do all that, okay? Now, on the downside, we put this like a bottoming tail in here, 56.60. People are hanging on to this. The key level is going to be right here. This is going to be the ticket, 56.60. Today, what do we hit? 56.60. See this? Okay, boom. See, all you do is look to the left of the chart. All your support levels are sitting right here because where it's been is usually where it's going. Okay, it's just that simple. Okay, so right there, it held that. So now we might have a possible, I say, double bottom. But we got to see if that's going to shake out here. We have to see Sunday night when the futures open at 6 p.m. Okay, now we lose that 66.60. Then we're going to come right down here to 55.61. And then we can have that big retest there at 54.98. Now we lose this, you're going to go 53, 50, 47. You got support all the way down to 43 level. Okay, so now 46, this is not overbought, oversold, sideways action right there. Again, still just downtrending situation. So bottom line, we first got to attack and get above that 57.78, the 8-day and that 21-day. If you do, we have to go see the 50-day. Okay, so for me, this is just a trade. UCO for the long, SEO for the short. Really, really good trading, but don't have no opinion until you can get above that 50-day. Then we got a lot of resistance going on here. Then we can move up. So we got to have some kind of a catalyst to do all that. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here comes natural gas. Okay, now again, if you look at a seasonality chart, this is no surprise. This always runs up here, and then we start in the futures contract. Boom, down you go. See this here? This was a contract roll right here. Contract roll. Okay, so try to pop up, couldn't do it, and now it came down. But where did we go today? Okay, we're down 356. Okay, so if you look at this 200-day, what do we got? 356. Okay, that's where you go. Now we start losing that. Well, then we're going to come right here to this gap fill. Okay, you're looking at 343. So this is why I always point out the gaps and the fills. Now, again, if we lose this 343 level, well, then we can come down to the bottom of that candle there. You're looking at 329. We'll come down there at 323. We venture down here at that 320 level, and then we have another gap at 313. There's your gap. And then we look to the top of that candle at 302. Another gap, another fill, and then we could come venture all the way down here to 277, and we could retest all the way down there at 262. But you got to lose that 200-day in order to do all that kind of a situation. Now, upside, you got to get back above that 365 level. That's going to be very, very key. And then we look to the bottom of this candle here at 375. That's your next level. Then we venture out here to the bottom there, 379. Then we go 384. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking right here for that 8-day at 404. And then we have your 50-day, 427. And then we have the 429, 21-day. Now, when the futures open at Sunday night at 6 p.m., this 21-day is going to probably end up crossing that 50-day real quick. That 8-day is going to be down. That's going to provide very, very strong resistance if it can even rally on up here. Okay, but right now, okay, just watch that 200-day. As long as we're holding that 200-day, we got a shot to maybe take that bad boy higher. Easy way to trade this: UNG for the long, KLD for the short. KLD, okay, very, very nice trading. Okay, so right here you look at 37. That's not oversold. That could go down here. The green is below your red. You can see the momentum going to the downside. Okay, nothing. We got no divergences. We have nothing going on here. The key is you got to hold that key 200-day at that 356. If not, you're going to go to the gap fill, and we could venture all the way on down. Upside, got to get back above Hondo up here, and then we can head right for that 8-day. And then maybe I say if you can get through that, then 50-day and 21-day, but it's going to take something big catalyst to do that. Okay, let's take a look at the indexes. All right, all the indexes started off pretty strong today, and the other one that's lasting out of this is the old Dow. Okay, so the old Dow is looking here, not too bad. Came right on down, and we're holding this level right here. That's very, very good. You never made it down to the 50-day, and now we're back above the 21-day, but we're right, boom, right into that 8-day. Okay, so that's going to be your big time resistance, 48.40 level. Okay, you get above that, then we can start heading right up there at 48.704. We head up there, 48.782, and then here's your big retest at 48.886. We crack that, you're going 50 grand. Okay, that's just that simple. Downside here, just watch that 21-day, 48.201. Watch Wednesday's low, 48.394. Today's low at 47,853. Then watch that 50-day, 47,576. We start losing that. We come down to the 100-day, and we come all the way down to the retest down here at 45,728 level. Now, this here, you're not overbought, oversold. There's plenty of room to run. The green is all your red, but we got a sideways action. But this is basically just a trading situation. The Dow is looking actually not too bad. Now, easy way to trade this is with UDOW. UDOW, and if you want to trade the Dow, that's the easy way to trade that. Okay? Now, here we go. S&P. Okay, so the S&P came right on down, but now we're back above that 21-day. Okay, and where do we go? Right into the 8-day. Stopped it cold. Okay, so downside, watch that 21-day. We lose it. We come down to today's low, 68.24. We have the 50-day. We have your 100-day here. We have your retest all the way down here at 65.21. Upside, 8-day, right there, sitting right there, clear as bell, a 68.95. You got to get above that. Then what we're going to do is we can retest this level at 69.20, and then we can retest right there at that 69.45. You crack that, you're going to 7,000. Just that simple. Same thing on the RSI, plenty of room to run. We got the green is over your red here, but again, that can curl right back up. So we have a good uptrending situation here so far. So let's just see if it can shake out. But eventually, you're going to get a correction in both of these, in all three of these. Okay, NASDAQ is the lagger. Okay, it popped up here and then popped right back down. We're holding at 50 days so far. Okay, so that's the key, 23,252. We lose that, we'll come to today's low at 23,119. It will come down to the bottom there. 23. What do we have here? It's not even a print on there. Anyway, we have the 100-day at 22,712 level, and then we have your big retest down here at all the way down to the bottom there, and then we can come all the way down. But again, right now, let's not get too excited right about it because we're holding that 50-day, which is good. Now, upside, you got to watch that 21-day. That's key, 23,374. Then we have to watch that 8-day. Let's see what we got, 23,449. We get above that. Your big retest up here is 23,704. Now, you can see here where it ran all the way up here, came there, retested it, couldn't hold it, and then came right on bound. So what you have is like a double top situation. So you got to crack through that 23,704. If you do, see we have this gap that's still not filled. Then we come to the bottom, 23,764. Then we can venture to your 24,119. We crack that, you go in 25,000. RSI is pretty much the same thing. Eventually in 26 here, and it might be sooner, it might be later, but you're going to get a correction in this, okay? You can't just keep running up here. Let me just take these all on out here for you. See this? You had this big V bottom on all of these, okay? And same way on every chart here. Eventually, this is going to correct, okay? And a lot of times what they'll do is when people get on top here, they go into that FOMO like you had in silver and you had in gold, and they want to get in. They want to get in. Oh, I got to get in. I'm missing out. I'm missing out. I got fear of missing out. I got to get back in. Well, yeah, sometimes that doesn't work here. So that's why you're on trade the charts. But if you want to do the FOMO trade, okay, use stop losses, okay? Put the money in your freaking pocket. That's the whole key. That's why we're trading. That's why we're here every day. That's the job, okay? All right, I'll be back here Sunday night, and we'll do it all over again. Everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.